This video is a guide to create ComfyUI workflows for deployment. At the end of the video, you will be able to create something like this. There you have it. A ring that was over here is now on top of some fiery rocks. So let's get started. So here you can see my clear ComfyUI screen. I'll just load the default workflow. There we have default workflow. For this video series, we'll be creating a product photography workflow. The workflow will be a very basic one. You can build on top of it. And here we have boot up our normal workflow. You can open ComfyUI anywhere as suitable as you like. And yeah, the prerequisite for this video is you should have a basic understanding of ComfyUI, how to download models, what are control nets and stuff. So now for this workflow, I will go for GibMixXL. For this workflow, I guess we need an initial image. So let's add a load image block. So there we have a good little ring. Taking this image further, I would like to resize it based on the longer side. So every time I get the resolution to be 1024, the highest resolution to be 1024. So let's search for resize image with longer side. Yeah, image resize by longer side. Here it is. The stuff to keep in mind is the custom node that we are using. To enable this little bar, just go to manage it. And if you see the badge, you can see nickname, right? Just it might be none for you. Just add a nickname, or you can go for badge ID and nickname. So you will have that number 12 or the node ID, right? So that's how you can enable that. Let's close that. Now I want it to go to 1024 bicubic is fine. You can keep it to nearest exact. I would stick to bicubic. After this, I would like to add this to grounding dyno, where I'll get the segmentation of the ring. So let's search grounding dyno, segment anything. There we have it. And for the prompt, I'll keep it ring, right? Now just make sure of the prompts as well. Where do you want the user to input their stuff? So one is the image that we have over here. The second is the product text that it can be, or the product prompt. Here it is ring for me, right? And we'll get to the text prompts sooner. Let me just add these models really quick. Right. Just for demonstration purpose, I'm adding the preview image node, but we might need the mask. So let's take the mask, and we have to apply this mask somewhere. So here, let's delete empty latent image, and let's search for VAE encode and painting. Let's use that. Let's take the mask, and the mask generated over here is black and white, but the white part is where the painting happens, and it will create a mask around the ring. So it will in-paint the ring, and the black portion that is the background will remain as it is, but we want the inverse of that. So we'll invert the mask. So I've just inverted the mask, and I'll add it to my latent. Now this is a sweet little workflow all messed up. So we'll tidy it up a bit. Let's just run this workflow and see what it comes up with. Let's say a ring on burning lava, premium photography. Cool. Now let's run the prompt. Oh, here's a mistake that I made. Let's connect the VAE, and the image that goes over here is the image from the original image. We have just resized it. So yeah, let the model load, and I'll cut to the output. And there we have our output. Not that great of an output. Giving some artifacts and stuff like that isn't that great. How can we exactly improve this? If you see the image, the mask, it's good. It's not bad. But what in case if you want to improve that? So I will take this image, or you can take the original image, and add control net. So let's add our control net. Start over here. So we are adding our control net. Let's add the condition to condition. Now, what control net can we add over here? I would really like canny. So we can add canny over here. So let's add control net loader, and just for a second, I would go to manager again and just batch hide built-in. Okay, I would like to that. So whatever nodes are already present in ComfyUI don't have this batch. So let me go really quick. Let's add control net LoRa. Control LoRa. Great. Now to accompany that, let's add a canny preprocessor. I would like to go for the Comfy core. Let's not add multiple custom nodes. So yeah, I am adding the image output from grounding dyno. You can add it from here itself, but I really don't want the other aspects of the image. I just want the ring, so I'm adding that over here. High threshold, low threshold. Let's see how does it generate. The strength is 1, as you see it over here. Not bad. Rid of the artifacts. Great. But still, if you see the image, the lighting is off. So let's start with IClight. Let's add IClight workflow to it. Let's take another K sampler over here. Let's add IClight conditioning. Let's connect positive to positive. We need a model, and we'll use load and apply IClight. That's great. Now over here, I need another checkpoint to basically complete the flow. So I'll be adding more text encode. And we connect this to IClight conditioning. Positive goes positive. Just to differentiate, I will color them as green and red. I'll just add black and white, blurred, light, distorted. And over here, I'll just say indoor lighting. Now it's up to you if you want the text prompt to be added to your deployment. The lighting text prompt, you can do that as well. I'll just go with VA. Now here in IC lighting condition, we have to add the latent image that has been generated. You can take directly from here, or you can take this image and do VA encode again and add it to the foreground. And for this VA encode, you can use your VA. And one point to take in note, that IClight works great with Epic Realism Natural. So the SD 1.5 model, great. So we are good with that. We have added that. We will copy the VA encode for our latent image that goes to key sampler. Now IClight works in a good, unique way where the light mask can be added via the VA encoded latent image. It takes the information from this image, and it can be any image. You can load your image, but just to have the convenience of the workflow and to automate everything in one proper flow, we are going to use this image and create a black and white image out of it. And it's recommended to have a black and white image for the items. So you can basically download this node from Cubic, which converts the image into a mask. Now mask is basically black and white, so you can play around with these dials over here, the values. You can play around with the values over here. Then we'll take the mask and actually blur it. You can have the value as you want. I would like to keep it at 30. And I'll remap the range so the black is reduced. And once we are done with the remap, we have to convert the mask into image. So let's search for convert mask into image. And we'll add that image. Let's just make this a bit tidy. So here I'll also give you a preview image so you can see what kind of outputs are being generated, and we'll do VA decode over here and we'll save the image. Other things to mention about the save image node, don't have it anywhere else apart from the output where you need it. I would highly recommend to delete all the preview images node as well. Preview image, there it is, and I guess we are good to go. And I'm giving it a run. Second checkpoint is being loaded. Once your models are loaded, it's a smooth ride. You can test out multiple things with multiple settings. And this is the light mask that is generated and is being used as the latent image. And there we have it. A beautiful looking image with good lighting. You can change this to outdoor lighting. I'll just zoom into the text prompt. So I've just said outdoor cool lighting for the IClight. And let's see. There are stuffs you can do after this image generation is to transpose the colors on top of this. You can build a workflow with that also. But yeah, this gives you a pretty good output. It can be improved to a very good extent, but there you have it. A ring that was over here is now on top of some fiery rocks, and that's it. Now, just to recap what all to consider, all the input points. Let's go through all the input points and the models. Right? Make sure the input points for us is, the first one is load image. Then we have text encode for positive prompt and negative prompt. You got positive prompt and negative prompt, as well as you have a prompt for the segmentation too. We are done with the 4 input points. Then everything here can be automated. You can have a seed input over here, but rest all is fine. Then another input point is the prompt for the lighting. You can have that. And as well as, now let's touch upon the models. The models that we might need to download, and make sure you know the directory, right? For example, GIMX Excel is there in the models checkpoint folder, whereas Grounding Dino and SAM are there on their own folders. Like Grounding Dino is present in Grounding Dino, and SAM is present in SAM's folder, SAMS. Now we are done with a checkpoint, a Grounding Dino and SAM's model. Do make sure of these models, and where to download them. I guess you will find Hugging Face links for your own models. And then we have this model, Epic Realism Natural model over here. That's SD 1.5 Epic Realism model. Also, we have IClight SD 1.5 FC Safe Tensor model. We covered our input points. We have covered our models. One more model is the control line. Once you are done with this workflow, just save API format and rename it to workflow_API.json. You can do a normal save as well. Have it as workflow_UI.json, so you can revisit your workflow and make changes if necessary. That's it. We have covered custom nodes and weights, that is models that we can deploy. So on to the deployment.